All right, so we've got a 50-50 set up here. So each circuit has 3 stations. You work 50 seconds of 1, 50 seconds of 2, 50 seconds of number 3, then back to the first one again, 50-50-50. Then you'll get a 50-second break. Then you move to a new circuit, 3 stations, 50 seconds of each, 2 times through. For equipment that you'll want, sliders will be used for some hamstring runners and a crunch pike. You'll want a heavy object. This is going to be for our Stallones where you're laying on your back. So something heavy could be a couch or a heavy chair or something like that that's going to stay put. It needs to be grounded very nicely. And then lastly, some weights. If you've got dumbbells, more of a medium weight, we'll have some single leg RDLs and then also some lunges. If you don't have 2 weights, it could just be one heavy object that you can use for those as well. So first circuit, we're going to have some hand walks. So walking out, walking back up. We're going to have a low lateral lunge, so side to side. And then we're going to have slow V-ups, so on your back here. So we'll get started in about 10 seconds with the hand walks. You don't need any equipment for this first circuit. So just a little bit of space out in front, walking forward and backwards here.
One of the things to focus on, guys, in this exercise is that the hips don't drop too far when you're in that fully extended position. So make sure the core stays tight, stay in control of the movement, only head out as far as you're able to. This being a 50-50-50, we'll move somewhat seamlessly into the second exercise in 10 seconds. It's going to be that low lateral lunge. So we'll kick the feet somewhat wide, sit the hips down, and then maintain that depth as we go side to side. Think about it almost being a low lateral limbo, so sneak under from side to side. Should feel a nice stretch. The long leg, you might push that knee back a little bit as you finish. And the tempo here is nice and slow and controlled. We'll spend another 20 seconds doing this low lateral lunge. And then we're gonna go to slow V-ups. If a single leg V-up feels appropriate, let's go single leg. If you'd like to go double leg though, by all means, go ahead. 5 seconds out. 2. Let's go ahead into V-ups. Nice slow pattern here. Lots of control, use the core as much as we can. "30 seconds. And then after V-ups, we'll go back to the hand walks, from hand walks, back to lateral lunge, from lateral lunge, back to V-ups. 15 seconds out. 5. 4. Hand walk out to start the set over. And if you need to on this hand walk out, you can always drop to knees if you got out too far and got uncomfortable. Otherwise, reach out, keep the core tight, drive those hips up as you come back in for a nice big hamstring stretch. You can settle there for a second and walk back out. Lots of control. Good warm-up series to start off this circuit. 15 seconds. 5. We'll go low lateral lunge again next. Nice wide base, sitting down. If you have any low back issues and a certain depth here feels uncomfortable, then bring it back up a little bit. but you're sitting down kind of 90 degrees in the knees. Think about almost that wall sit, and then just transfer side to side. Focus on a little pause, get the stretch, shift back across. 20 seconds out. 10. 3, and then V-ups again. On your back, last thing of this series, slow V-ups, single leg or double leg, but nice easy rhythm. You're likely exhaling as we come up. Inhale as you sprawl out and separate. 20 seconds. Ten. 'Good. Rest. The next exercises, we're going to go single leg RDL. I'm going to grab 2 weights, So I'll go 2 weights, single leg RDL. If you have 1 weight at home, grab 1 weight, 1 leg. Second exercise will be eccentric push-up, just a lowering, slow. And third thing, side plank with a reach under body. So 2 dumbbells in hand if you have 2. Oops. 5 seconds up.
So you're gonna be balanced on 1 leg here, the other one's reaching back behind you. And think about like teeter-totter. You keep a nice straight line down from the back of your head, down to that heel. So as the upper body leans forward, that back leg will come backwards and up a bit. Both glutes working here. On that up leg, you got the butt tight to keep that leg straight and keep everything in a straight line. And then that bottom leg, the glute is working hard on that side to pull you back up to the top position. Good balance front to back with your heel and your toe. So not all the weight in the heel, not all the weight in the toes. Squeezing your butt tight as you come up to the top. We've got 10 seconds left, and then you'll be on that eccentric push-up. 3. So good push-up position. If you can, you're going to be going down from your toes as slow as possible. And then the way up, if you want, you can go to your knees to make that part nice and easy. So that way you can put all the focus into the way down on this one. If you're really strong with these, slow down even more on that bottom half of it as you get closer to the floor. Even pause. You can move 1 or 2 inches down, pause, 1 or 2 inches down, pause if you do feel really strong with these. 15 seconds to go. You can always go from your knees the whole time as well. Next one's going to be that side plank with a reach, so you'll stay down on the floor for this one. 6. 5. So down on an elbow, good strong position on that shoulder. And then you're going to turn, reach under your body, and then reach up towards the ceiling. It's okay to let the hips turn down a little bit at the bottom on this, so they're facing more towards the floor at the bottom. And then as you reach up, they square back up into that good side plank position. You can let your head turn on these too, so you look up, follow that hand as you reach up towards the ceiling. 20 seconds. Hips stay high off the floor. After this, we're going to go back into that single leg RDL on the other leg. So you'll grab those weights. 2, 1. So other leg. You might have one side that feels a little less stable than the other. If that's this side, take your time. Focus on each rep. It's helpful to stare down at the floor out in front of you so you're not moving your eyes all over the place. And another thing, try to keep the foot on the floor a little bit relaxed. Try not to let those toes curl up underneath your foot. Spread the weight out. 20 seconds to go. And then you'll be down to those eccentric push-ups again. Last 5. So good plank position. You're not letting the head drop too low on this one. You keep it in same alignment with the rest of your body. Abs braced tight, breathing. And your body should come down to the floor all at once. So it's not hips, then stomach, then chest. It's kind of everything comes down together. 20 seconds to go. Five seconds, then down to that side plank on the other arm. So again, let those hips rotate a little at the bottom if you can. Still staying strong on that shoulder. So that extra rotation does add a little more stress on the shoulder, so you've got to stay strong there. Halfway through. After this one, we will be taking a break. Twelve seconds. 4. And that's 50 seconds off, and then we'll be getting into our next circuit of 3. So we're going to have a reverse lunge with a pulse. Coming up, we're going to have a push-up plus rotation, and then we're going to have the 90-degree crunch, so down on your back. Mini crunches here. So first one, you want either dumbbells or a weighted object. If you just have one, you can hold up in front too.
2. Reverse lunge, add the pulse, stand tall, knee tuck. We'll repeat on the same leg for 50 seconds duration. If you grab something heavy, feel free to use that back leg quite a bit for assistance. But if you can, you're using that front leg to lower the body as well as draw the body back up. So think about being heavy in that front leg if you can, but if you need the back leg because you're loaded heavy, use that back leg to drive off the floor. 20 seconds out. There's no right way or wrong way, just different ways, different focuses. In 10 seconds, we're heading into the push-up with rotation to ceiling. 5, really 1 push-up, rotate to ceiling. 1 push-up again, rotate to ceiling. If you need to go to knees, keep the knees wide. Otherwise from toes. Ben has our demo here. Got a kneeling demo now, nice wide knees, reaching high. 30 seconds out. Make sure you're breathing through that push-up. As you inhale on the way down, drive, exhale as we reach. 10 seconds in, 10 seconds, we're on our back. 90-degree crunches again. 2, and Ben had that demo on our back, hips 90, knees 90. And the knees are gonna stay pretty stationary, the ankles as well. Everything in that lower half stays still. Press the low back in the ground, draw the chest up, a little exhale. If you really focus on these, they're not as easy as they might be otherwise. A little bit of duration still, 20 seconds, then we're into the reverse lunge with pulse on the other side. 15 seconds. 10. 2. Good, grab your weights if you had some. Drop back, pulse, stand tall, knee tuck to finish. And a lot of the effort here is on the depth of that reverse lunge. The knee should be pretty tight to floor, maybe pulsing 4 to 6 inches in height, and being as light as we can on the back foot, or as light as it is appropriate. 20 seconds out. Ten. Push-ups with rotation next. 2. And from the kneeling position, knees are nice and wide. From the toes, same idea, nice wide feet. Give yourself the ability to take a nice rotation. Over halfway, 20 seconds to go. And we'll finish the series of 3 with a 90-degree crunch. Three. Knees 90, hips 90. Leave the lower body stationary. Nice easy crunch up. Then a slow extension. Let the body fall back into space, but use the abs to do so. Seconds out of a rest. 10. 50. Three things coming up, one of which Ben demoed kind of before the workout started. It's a Stallone, so I'm going to use a pretty heavy kettlebell, hold on with my hands, pull my legs up, hips up, and then everything down nice and slow. Second thing is going to be a lunge pulse jump, so in a lunge-based position, a pulse and a jump, a pulse and a jump, and then a kneeling narrow push-up, so a couple push-up stations through each series, so should be good. But Stallone's in about 10 seconds. Make sure you got a good grip on that object. And again, your first rep, you'll be able to tell if it's heavy enough for you or not. If it starts coming up off the floor, you're gonna need to find something heavier. These are slow reps. If you can, lifting those hips up off the floor at the top. If you've got low back issues, don't worry about that hip lift and just focus more on the leg lift and lower. You can always bend the knees a little bit too if you need to take some of the tension off. But if you are good with these, spend a lot of time kind of in that middle part where you go from the top position and you're lowering those hips. Try to go as slow as possible through that hip lowering part. That's going to be a really challenging part of that one. So 10 seconds left. And then you're going to be in that lunge pulse jump. So up to your feet next. 3, 2, 1. Make sure you got clear floor for yourself there.
pulse at the bottom, so it's a lot like those reverse lunge pulses we just did, but you're staying in the same stance the whole time, and you're getting a little hop off the floor. So it should get a good burn, especially in the front leg. You're keeping more weight on that side than in the back foot. If you feel the back knee or hip or quad or anywhere in that area, you're putting a little too much weight into that back foot, so you want to lean a little more forward. 15 seconds to go. If they're easy, just get a bigger jump, slower pulse, soft landing as you're coming down. 8 seconds left, and then you're going to be into that push-up with a kneeling narrow position. So we want you to go from your knees no matter how good you are at these push-ups. And if you're really strong with these, go for a ton of reps. Really work on the tempo. But elbows stay tight to the body, so it's much more of a tricep push-up than your normal one would be. And the narrow is still not that narrow. It's not a diamond push-up. It's just about shoulder width or maybe slightly inside the shoulders, just enough to allow your elbows to stay tighter to your body. 15 seconds to go. Lead with the chest down to the floor. Don't let your head or your shoulders shrug forward. 7 seconds, and you're back onto your back for those Stallones. So you get those hips up, and then very good control. Try to keep the legs up and as straight as you can if you feel strong with these. And then good, slow, eccentric work as those legs come down to the floor. And try not to rest the feet down on the floor when you get to that bottom position too. 20 seconds to go. Eight seconds, then you're up to your feet for those lunge pulse jumps. So other legs forward. Again, you can see that forward lean with the upper body, enough to keep some weight on that front leg, more weight on the front leg. You can use the arms to get to a rhythm with these too, but it's all about controlling that landing, then getting a nice little push up off the floor. Even if you don't get all the way off the floor, at least pushing through your toes like you're trying to. 18 seconds to go. And then you'll finish up again with those kneeling narrow push-ups. Four, three, two, one. Last station here before we take a break. And keep in that good push-up position so you don't let those hips drop before everything else. You come down, everything comes down together to the floor, trying to get good depth. These should be very challenging. Again, even if you're strong with your push-ups, going for 50 seconds and keeping a good tempo is going to be tough. So do the best you can. Get a lot of reps in with this. Driving those palms into the floor. 15 to go. Last 5. Got it, good. 50 seconds break. So next through we've got mountain climbers. Back and forth here. We're going to alternate forward lunges, so you're going back and forth here. And then you're going to have that Superman, Superwoman, Super Person, where you're down on your stomach, down on the floor. So shouldn't need any stuff for this one here.
Just a good headspace.
Just a good attitude.
Yeah.
Smile on your face.
Mountain climbers, no discs. Pop, 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 pop. You can take the single kind of touch approach that Ben has, or get in that lunge base where they both kind of pop and switch. Up to you, preference based. But no discs, mountain climbers. A little bit of quads back to back on these first two exercises, but then a nice bit of recovery in that super person. 20 seconds to go. Try to find your breathing cadence. Nice good rhythm in the mountain climbers. In 5 seconds, alternating forward lunges. Nice step up front, stand and switch. And a lot of the effort here is based off the tempo that you're able to get into. That front quad on the landing leg is kind of acting as a brake or a shock absorber. You'll feel both quads, most likely. 20 seconds out. After the lunges, we're into the super hero. 10. 2. On your chest, guys. Opposite arm and opposite leg. Since Uncle Josh is over, Ben, the kids love superheroes, man. That's all Uncle Josh does is superheroes. Like 2 months of superheroes. Ashton's got a good deep voice, so he does the I'm Batman, and it's pretty funny. And he has a Batman pose. It's like, I don't know. That is interesting. It's cute. 15 seconds out, guys. After this, pop up, keep the same position, mountain climbers. So a quick transition from Superman, Superwoman into mountain climbers. 5 seconds. Look at this transition. There we go. Hands down. Yeah.
So
pop, pop,
fast.
pop, pop, pop. Work on your breathing. 30 seconds here. Try to stay in an aggressive yet comfortable rhythm. "15 seconds, then we'll move into that alternating forward lunge. 10. 2. Good. Get the first rep in. Yeah, fire back, switch legs. Try to get back on that same tempo you had in the first round when you thought it was easy. 30 seconds. We'll finish these forward alternating lunges, move back into super person stuff, and we'll take a nice long rest. 15 seconds to go. 10. 2. 'And as you're doing these, guys, they're very slow, controlled, opposite limbs. Don't use the low back as much as you are using the shoulder and the glute. So really use that glute to lift the heel. You want to squeeze a little bit. 15 seconds out of a rest. 10. 9. 3, 2. How's that?
Pretty good. I got my heart up. If you keep a pace with those lunges, those will get your heart rate up more than I would have thought.
3 things: valve slide, crunch the pike in a push-up position, feet on the discs, come through a crunch, come out in pike. Second thing, single leg jump, no back foot contact, always fun. And then we have hamstring runner as well. So we use the discs for 2 stations, body weight for 1. First thing, crunch the pike. 5 seconds out.
So you get a lot of weight into the upper body here. And then that crunch is a really deliberate crunch. So think about it, as you pull those knees up, you're using your abs. You're kind of tucking that tailbone underneath, pulling your belly button in. Then when you get to that top position, lift the hips up, and then slow on the pike back down to the starting position. Both directions, you're thinking about the abs. Pikes and things like that can be a lot more effective when you're actually focusing on the muscles you're trying to use rather than just using your hip flexors or your quads or anything like that. So think about curling your torso up there, getting those abs to work, butt up, and then a slow release. 8 seconds to go. And you're going to be on that single leg jump. In 3, 2, 1. So make sure the sliders are out of the way. Reaching that back foot behind you. The goal is to not touch the floor with the back foot. If you need it for a little stability, it's there. But try not to use it so all that weight comes down on that one foot down on the floor. Just watch those sliders, yeah. Soft landing, that makes this a lot more challenging too, is sitting down a little lower into the landing on each one. And you don't even have to get off the floor. Even just getting up onto your toes, acting like you're jumping up, is enough to keep this one working all those same muscles. So 10 seconds to go. Give me in those hamstring runners, so you'll want the sliders again after this. 4, 3, 2, 1.
I haven't done one in a few weeks.
Laying on your back. What was that?
I haven't done single leg, no contact in a couple weeks.
Yeah, those are.
I think you did it last.
Yeah, I did. So if you can, keeping the hips up off the floor, so you're in that glute bridge position, and then moving the feet at the same time. So as one's going forward, the other one's coming back. Going for a good reach. That's how to make these harder. To make them easier, you can keep your hips down on the floor, but you still keep a ton of weight in your heels in the sliders. The more you push into the sliders, the more hamstring tension there's going to be. And if you are down on the floor, really get that full range of motion. Extend the legs all the way at the end. 10 seconds to go. Should be getting a good burn in the back of your legs. 5 seconds, then you'll be back to those knee tuck crunches and pikes here with the sliders. So flipping over, toes on the sliders now. That good pull, crunching up there, then butt up, and then working on the eccentric control with the abs as you go back to just a good neutral plank position. Don't try to drop those hips at all in the end position. A lot of weight in the upper body too, so triceps and shoulders are working to support you. 20 seconds to go. So 10, and then you'll have the single leg jumps on the other leg. 2, 1. Again, get the sliders out of the way. On these, you do tend to move around a little bit when you're landing. So even if the sliders start out a foot or two away from you, that doesn't mean you're not going to accidentally make your way over on top of one, and that would be disastrous. So opposite arm and leg punching through. So you can see as his right knee comes forward, his left elbow and hand are driving forward too. So it's that good running opposite coordination there. 20 seconds left. Get back down into those hamstring runners for your last one. 7 seconds, still keep an eye on those sliders, don't land on anything. 3, 2, 1. All right, last one in the circuit. Again, if you can keep the hips up, keep the hips up. Abs are engaged too, so you're not just arching that low back, so make sure low back feels okay during these. If it's not feeling very good, keep those hips down, but still pushing a lot of weight into the sliders. "20 seconds to go, and then we'll be taking our break. And next circuit will be the last one of the working sets. 10. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Good. That was a good burnout. So 1 circuit left here. 3 more stations, then we'll move into our stretching routine. This one will be a good one, so a little leg work. We're gonna have skaters, so a little side to side, so you'll want some space for that. Squat pulses, just staying low on your squats. And then the last one is a high plank opposite reach. So push-up position, opposite arm and leg, reaching out there. So other than some room, you don't really need anything else here. Again, sliders are gone, don't land on these.
Skaters first here, guys. Working on some lateral distance. Our mini skater, we really emphasize that opposite arm to opposite leg. If you'd like to integrate here, you can. Otherwise, stay tall, work on a lot of distance. Use that back leg to swing out, away from the body. Use the other arm to kind of drive across the body. 25 in and 25 out. Trying to keep that back foot off the ground if possible. Ten seconds out. 2. Some pulses, guys. Sit down deep. Maybe 4, 6 inches range of motion. Should be a bit challenging. Work on your breathing, transfer weight to heels. The last thing in the series, in 25 seconds, is that high plank with opposite reach. That will be a little less leg dominance. Just hang out here. If you need to, stand up, breathe, and back in when you can. 15 seconds out. 5. 5. High plank opposites. 6. Good demo there, guys. Reaching opposites, trying to keep the hips squared up, that low back stationary. Reach out, take a pause. Reach out, take a pause. "20 seconds. On the back side of this, we're back into skaters. They don't have to be mini skaters, just working on some distance. 10 seconds. 2. On your feet for skates. Work on some distance. Use that back leg to swing, that forward arm to drive. If you need to at some point, set that back toe down to stabilize. Otherwise, nice big lateral movements here. 30 seconds. 10. 2. Squat pulses. I hope the second workout has less legs in it.
Oh, okay.
Did
It's
you
the
write?
last one, right? Last circuit?
Yeah. This is high plank opposite.
Alright.
30 seconds, guys. If you can get down to about 90, bounce around there. Really focus on the hips moving up and down, not the knees forward and back, so get the hips. 10 seconds, and then high plank with opposites to finish. 5.
Oh, man.
High plank. If you cannot pull opposites here, just move just the arm or just the leg individually. But if you can, reach, pause for a second. 20 seconds. In 10 seconds, we'll rest for about 30 seconds while we get ready for a couple stretches. 5. You're welcome to lay flat on your stomach here. We're going to go into a core stretch for the first thing. All right, 10 seconds out. Core stretch. Drive the shoulders up a bit. Open the rib cage. We're just going to do our core stretch one time. We'll go into a standing pec stretch on both sides. And then since the legs got a lot of work, we'll finish with a standing quad. 30 seconds out here. You can move your head side to side a little bit if you want. Swing the hips around a little bit if you want. Find a stretch that feels good. 10. We'll have a 10-second break between stretches. We'll head right over to a wall. Grab the corner. Pec stretch. You could be straight off the body, 45 off the body, wherever it feels good in the front of your shoulder and pec. If your right arm's back against the wall, likely your right leg is back as well. Rotate the hips, rotate the shoulder. Get a nice stretch. Another 25 in this position still. We'll switch sides. Sometimes stacking the elbow at 90 degrees as bent is now feels good. 10 seconds out. Good, 10 seconds to switch sides. In 20 seconds, guys, we'll use the wall if we need to, but we'll go into a standing quad stretch. Both sides. 5. 4. posture. Use your core to tighten up a little bit, maybe your glute to squeeze a little bit. You can have a little bit of quad activation as well, whatever feels good, but definitely a quad stretch here. "15 seconds out, and we'll switch sides. Three. Same thing on the other side to finish. "20 seconds here. Five. That's it, guys. Add some more stretch unit if you'd like, if you need it. Thanks for joining us.